chain smoke and I say fuck a lot. But I accept myself for the way I am. I accept you too. Viewer discretion advised. And looking into some of the names in these documents that Virginia Giuffre accused, one was Marvin Minsky, so I started to look into him. And I had to share this. From the Epstein documents, page 278. Where were you and where was Miss Maxwell when she directed you to go have sex with Marvin Minsky? I don't know. Where did you go to have sex with Marvin Minsky? I believe it was in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Jeffrey Epstein's island and the U.S. Virgin Islands. The Epstein documents, page 1244. David Rogers, one of the pilots. The next flight on the next day, 1479, is flying from Teterboro to Santa Fe. Is that right? Yes. And who are those passengers? Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, Adam Perry Lang, Virginia Roberts, Banu, whoever that is, Marvin Minsky, Henry Jarecki. Just a little from his Wikipedia, because I know YouTube loves that. Marvin Lee Minsky, 1927 through 2016, was an American cognitive scientist concerned largely with research of AI, co-founder of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology's AI Laboratory, and author of several texts concerning AI and philosophy. Role in popular culture. Minsky was an advisor on Stanley Kubrick's movie 2001, A Space Odyssey. One of the movie's characters, Victor Kaminsky, was named in Minsky's honor. And that's kind of weird. I did a video a while ago called Direct This, and it was about a blind item that was later on revealed, and it had to do with the director, an actor, and rape and molestation of underage girls. And if you want to see it, the link will be in the description. Minsky is mentioned explicitly in Arthur C. Clarke's derivative novel of the same name, where he's portrayed as achieving a crucial breakthrough in AI in the then future 1980s, paving the way for HAL 9000 in the early 21st century. Arthur C. Clarke, wasn't he a pedophile? Science fiction author Arthur C. Clarke's reported confessions of his lifestyle have created confusion to whether or not he is an unrepentant pedophile. Clarke's reported confession to a life of pedophilia in the British newspaper, the Sunday Mirror, provoked calls Sunday for his immediate deportation from Sri Lanka. Clarke, 80, who's lived in Sri Lanka since 1956, was quoted by the Sunday Mirror as saying, quote, "Once they, boys, have reached the age of puberty, it is okay. It doesn't do any harm." So this showed up in the paper. He denied it, and I can't find the original anywhere. But he was knighted, and I do have a theory about that. Not really, I haven't looked into it, but there's a lot of questionable people that have been knighted. That's all I'm saying. Now check this out. We know that Epstein wanted to have his head and egg frozen, right? Minsky died of a cerebral hemorrhage at the age of 88. Minsky was a member of Alcor's Scientific Advisory Board and is believed to have been cryonically preserved by Alcor, presumably as patient 144, whose cooling procedures began on January 27th, 2016. And this Alcor place is pretty fucked up in itself.
Arizona-based Alcor is the worldwide leader in cryonics. Its lab is said to house corpses, including the remains of baseball great Ted Williams.
Williams swings, and there's a long...
Frozen to minus 321 degrees, all at a cost of about $120,000 each. Larry Johnson, a former chief operating officer at Alcor, says in a new book that Williams' corpse was mistakenly decapitated and gruesomely mistreated. Through internal documents, photos, and secretly recorded conversations obtained by Johnson, he also alleges the company participated in the premature deaths of 2 Alcor clients who were close to dying.
So what did he do? Did he just...
He killed her.
Alcor denies any wrongdoing and released a statement about the claims made in Johnson's book. In part, it says, Alcor is a non-profit organization, a pioneer in the field of cryonics, and categorically denies the false allegations contained in Mr. Johnson's book.
Okay, so you go to work at Alcor, and typically what was their method
for freezing these corpses?
Typically, what would happen is they would have a member who's a member of Alcor would pass away, would die. They would bring that individual to the facility and begin the cool down process.
Right.
Depending on what option you would take, depends on what they do to you. If you take the whole body option, they freeze your whole body. If you want just the head only option, they just freeze the head.
So it was quite common for them to decapitate these corpses?
Yes, that's correct.
Right. Now, did you go to work there before Ted Williams was brought there or after?
It was afterwards. I went to work there about 6 months after Ted was brought into that facility.
Right. And you allege that you saw his corpse being mishandled? What did you say?
I saw his head. What happens is they had his head in one, looked like a freezer chest. It's called a cryostar, and it was malfunctioning. There were some issues, so they wanted to move his head into another vessel to lower the temperature of his head down to -321 Fahrenheit.
Right.
So they went to put his head in that vessel. What you got to do is, obviously the head's round, it's not going to sit upright. So they got a tuna fish can. They put it in the bottom of that vessel, they set the head on top of the can, and then fill the vessel with liquid nitrogen. Well, obviously after 2 or 3 days of being in that state, when they pull you out, that can is stuck to the top of the head.
Right.
In Williams's case, that's exactly what happened. They pulled him out.
Right.
The tuna can was stuck to the top of his head.
Right.
A technician grabbed a wrench, a monkey wrench, took a swing at the can, missed it, missed the can, all right, hit the head, draw back again, a second swing, hit the can, send it flying across the room.
Gruesome. Gruesome.
I've been a paramedic 25 years, and I've seen some pretty horrible things.
When you saw that stuff, did you go to the head of Alcor? Did you go to the police department, for instance, and say, there's crazy stuff going on?
I did go to the police. I did go to the police. I did uncover some incidents where there were some questionable deaths.
Right. You allege in the book there were people who were prematurely passed on with the aid of Alcor employees.
Absolutely. I have knowledge of 2. I have solid evidence of 1 in the form of tape recordings. I wired myself to get that on tape that they were actually euthanized.
So you went to the cops, and what did the cops say?
I went to the cops. This particular death occurred in L.A.
Right.
So I went to LAPD Homicide Division, turned the tapes over to the homicide detectives.
Right.
They thought, this is great, this is a smoking gun, we're going to deal with this. A few days pass. I called them. They said, this is 11 years old. We don't have the resources to deal with this. We're worried about the homicides that happened last night.
So basically what they're saying is in the future, they want to take over with a bunch of liver-spotted rape bots. Fuck that.
Fucking stoned.